Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a Mixed Media Mayhem layout for you guys today. I am also joining off the board, and I am using this piece as an inspiration piece. So I absolutely love having these types of pieces on my Pinterest boards. So for today's recipe for Mixed Media, we've got a stencil, which I'm going to be using this Stamperia stencil right here. I love the mixed media-ness and collaginess of this stencil. I also have a couple all and create stamps here for our second recipe, which is stamping. I have bound to return, and then the second one here is a chain framed stamp. I love the collaginess again of these two mixed media stamps. And for my sparkle, I have this metallic white paste. Clearly it is brand new. I have not opened it yet, but I also wanted to try to add a little bit of this gilding flakes onto the paste just to see if it works and add just a teeny tiny little sparkle, because that's what I have in my photo here. You can see the teeny tiny itty bitty little island of Nassau in the distance. We were pulling up on it. Like I said, you guys, I'm such an early bird. I was awake before the boat was even docked almost every day. So it was so exciting to be able to see the islands from far away and pull up into them. And now I didn't watch the docking process, but yeah. So I also pulled out some chipboard pieces from Minte, and then a plain white piece of paper. Now this little scrap right here is from the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Coastal collection, and it was just the solid pack that they offered. I had a couple pieces in my stash from previous when the collection actually first came out brand new, and so I included them into the little kit that I made for this particular album that I am working on, as well as added a bunch of other things to it. If you guys are interested, back in May I did show you guys and share what was in my kit, but not necessarily everything I wanted to use, because there were certain things that I also wanted to add to my kit based off of themes and things like that. I put together a title using two different alphas that are fairly old, so I did not show you guys the packaging. And then I'm going to use these two distress ink colors for my stamping and more distressing. Now, one of the things I love about my pin, which today being Friday, Crystal put it as a free-for-all for the themes that she has. So every Friday is a free-for-all, which is good because we have Mixed Media Mayhem. But I still like having pins like this that is just an inspiration of painty, messy, collagey stuff that inspires me to pull out different supplies. Now this one here actually just is a variation of the different oxides, but there's so many things that you can do with today's inks that to me I constantly forget about. So I like keeping these reminders. I like keeping the reminders that not only can I stamp with my ink pads, which is what their intention was made for in the first place, but I can also do a bunch of watercolory messiness. I can do splatters with them. I can treat them as if they were, well, I just said watercolors, right? Well, it's the same thing. I can paint with them like they are a watercolor. And so I do truly enjoy when I am able to, remember and have that reminder with a little sample as well, because this one little sample on my pin shows me a rock and roll stamp or a blending of stamp pads. It shows me the watercoloriness, which I'm getting ready to do, and then it shows me the splatter, all using an ink pad, you guys. You really don't need a whole lot of supplies to make a mixed media background. I'm just saying. I love that, having that little reminder and having a mixed media board that kind of shares that reminder every now and then. So anyways, I am taking my ink block and smushing the ink pad on my glass mat, as well as spraying a little bit of water. I don't want it to be too much. I don't want it to take it. and oversaturate it. But I'm also using the Distress ink as a stamp. So that way, when I go to put my ink down, I get variations of colors, and it turned my blue ink pad and gave me this aqua color to play with. So it was a delightful unexpectation, but I knew something was going to happen. I just didn't know what. So I'm going to take this awesome stencil and take my metallic texture paste. I think it was metallic spark. I don't remember, you guys. It's brand new and I just opened it. I don't even know where I bought it. I apologize. So that's sad for me to say. I found it in my destashing of my scrap box. In all honesty, I don't even know how old it is. I'm sorry. That I feel really bad. So I let it dry for just a hot minute after I put it through the stencil, and then I lightly tapped on some of my Nouveau flakes. Now, I did not want the gilding flakes to be too prominent. I don't like a whole lot of sparkle, but I wanted that itty bitty little feel to draw attention to the lights in the distance on one of my photos, in all honesty. And then when I go to embellish, I wrap the embellishments around that light and have the word Nassau, leading into the lights on that page too. So hopefully, I draw the viewer's attention to the fact that there's lights in the background, because it is so minute and tiny. I almost missed it myself. All right, so I'm going to take some more of this metallic paste and splatter it on, but I'm dabbing it so that way I give a good texture to my lighthouse. I did not want to put in a whole lot of color. I wanted this layout to be very muted. I wanted the pictures to stand out on this layout. I did not want them to blend in. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to keep this nice and plain. I sprayed my, what's that called? My Compass Rose with a very, very pastel-y gray that I had from Dilutions. And then I'm just taking, again, the darker gray in Dilutions and dabbing it onto my anchor here. I just really didn't feel like pulling out my box, to be honest. So yeah, I definitely just wanted very muted embellishments going on. So now that is done, my background is dry. I will go ahead and put my photos down. So my photos, I matted with my vintage coastal blue background, and then I distressed the edges. So I made the mat about a 3/16 of an inch larger, so that way I had enough room for that distressing, but then you could also see the color as well. And I'm going to have the lighthouse for one cluster, and I decided I was going to bring in a little bit of greenery. The 3 embellishments that I had picked out were just not enough. So I really wanted to add some soft tones to it. So I went out and pulled out some flowers and what looked like seaweed leaves from the, again, Simple Vintage Coastal Collection by Simple Stories. It's a mix of the bits and pieces and the floral bits. And so I don't know exactly which ones they came from because I've mixed up all of them. I love mixing up all my things, because if I just kept these ones are Simple Stories and these ones over here are 49 and Market, then I end up with, having to decide, do I want to put only these on or do I want to put only these on? And when I mix them all up, I get to see how well they blend together and coordinate. And I can mix these leaves with those flowers and whatnot from 2 different collections or even 3 different collections. So I just like having them all in one bowl. My problem with that is I forget which one comes from which way. Which packaging and whatnot. I can easily recognize the colors, or I'm sorry, the who's the manufacturer, but as far as the specific packaging, I kind of get lost. So one photo here is of our room. So I'm standing out on the balcony as the sun is rising, and you can see the island over off to the left. And then the other one is from the 16th deck. I was going to say floor, but it's the same thing. It's from the 16th deck, again, watching the sun come up. It is totally different. The ship moved so fast that you can see the difference in the clouds. At the nighttime, the clouds were very, very heavy. The closer we got to the island, which is strange, the clouds kind of cleared off and spread out, giving me that beautiful blue sky. Also, too, when you've got, is it dusk? That is the daylight, dusk, dawn. Ha, dusk is down, dawn is up. So in the dawn, it is a little bit on that grayer side and that darker side. So I just really like the fact that, I've got the two different photos from the same morning, just depending on the minutes, literally minutes apart from each other. Maybe it's an hour away from each other. I don't know. But I just... these are my favorite photos, you guys. I have so many sunrise photos, no sunset photos, unfortunately, because I, am busy or sleeping to watch the sunset. I don't think I was sleeping. I don't think we went to bed any earlier than 11 o'clock every night. But I still woke up either before or with the sun. So it was lovely, gorgeous, you guys, gorgeous. Absolutely. So anyways, just deciding how I wanted to place my seaweed and my flowers. I did put my Good Morning Nassau on top of the compass rose. I didn't really need the compass rose to be a whole unit all on its own. And in all honesty, that is exactly where I planned on putting the title to begin with. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted the compass rose to not be so bold and in your face. I wanted it to be subtle and in the background type of thing. So I did want Nassau to sparkle like the water. So I went with this glitter chipboard is what it is. And I have to tell you guys, the chipboard peeled right off the sticker sheet and I had to glue every piece down, every single one. It's super old, you guys. I couldn't even tell you what the name of it was, but I do remember that I want to say I've had it since 2018. That's Alpha Set, and I'm shocked I had that many S's left. Actually, I think I have a good amount left because I have a hard time using sparkle, glitter, anything like that, to be honest. So just super simple, super easy embellishing. I'm not going all crazy on this embellishment. I did bring in my favoriteest twine in the whole wide world. So I've got this linen thread. I'm going to hook it around my anchor, which I almost forgot that I was going to do. And then I'm going to let it do its thing. And because it comes on this super cool roll, it curls and twists and turns beautifully. It just lays down on the page like it's meant to be. I pick a few spots to put a little dab of glue to hold it in place while it's sitting in my album. And that is it, you guys. I just love the subtleness. I love the background and the small little textures, the little sparkles, the compass roses all over, whether they're in chipboard or on the stencil. I really, really like how this layout turned out. And it is absolutely perfect for these sunrise photos. I just love it. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. As always, I have my links down below for Mixed Media Mayhem. We have a playlist. Off the Board, I have a playlist. I'll have a link for my favoriteest twine in the whole wide world. And then, of course, I have a link to our cruise that we are going to be doing in 2025, should you want to go and check it out and see what it is all about. All right, you guys, again, thank you so much, and I'll check y'all later. Bye.